Now I think, okay, we're going to try this again because I went live and then it has an issue with that. And this angle is not great, is it? I really want here. Maybe I can do this. That's a little bit better. Okay. We are trying to here, that's a lot better, and I'm sorry that you're gonna see my closet behind me, but that's how it goes, and we're going with it. So, I have a different topic that I'm talking about today that different than what my initial post was saying that it was going to be about, because today was kind of a difficult day to get through. I guess I don't want to say get through because I'm like really thankful for every day and I don't want to rush through the days. I don't want to rush through the week and just only live for the weekends. I want to be thankful and grateful for what I have right now. And yet sometimes things happen, right? And nothing really happened, but just this feeling of I don't really want to be at work today, even though I was still, grateful for my job. But I felt that way. I felt a little down. And yet I was there anyway. And I showed up anyway. And I did all the things that I needed to anyway. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and what that means, because I think that one of the reasons why some people don't go for their goals or get them done or make progress and then ultimately get them done is because they allow that feeling to overcome them and rule, right? They don't kind of push through, and I don't want to be toxic or anything, but you kind of have to do that sometimes, and that's what we're talking about today. Let me know if I think everybody's felt like this. I was going to say, let me know if you felt this way, but I feel like everybody has before, right? We can't always be happy all the time. We can't always have high energy because I think we would just like crash. And I don't think I crashed today. I think that I'm just kind of at a certain time and I'm like, okay, I would rather be doing something else. So I want to talk about doing it anyway, even when we're feeling down or when we're low energy. So, some of the positives to that. And I wrote down a list. So, I'm going to be looking at my list because I always have that. So, one of the things that doing it anyway will get you, it might give you a boost, right? So, a coworker today asked me if I wanted to go on our walk, and we go around the block, and I said, I'm not really sure because I'm kind of feeling down. And she's like, even better of a reason to go because it'll boost you up. And it did. And it did. And being at work kind of gave me a boost too because I had things to do. I had to cross things off of my list and I got a lot of things done. So, kind of doing it anyway might give you a boost. And sometimes when we're going for our goals, let's say we're trying to write a book and we're thinking, I don't want to show up today. I don't want to do my book. I don't want to do the research or whatever. Sorry. I don't want that angle. I meant to go up. Like I don't want to do that research. It seems too hard. And then you show up and you get into it, right? And you're like, oh, I'm so glad I did this because now I got 2 chapters done instead of just a couple of pages. And sometimes it takes showing up and doing it anyway and getting it started to see that progress. And that's the second thing that I wanted to talk about is that you will thank yourself later for not letting that day go by without making any progress. The next time you show up, let's say it's tomorrow and you're like, well, I wasn't going to do that yesterday, but you know what? Look at all this that I got done and now I'm that much more ahead, if that makes sense. So, you if you show up more than likely you'll make some progress the next time your future self is going to thank you for that. So the other thing that I wondered today, I'm actually at a busy time in my work, and I do a budget, and it's the building process of the budget. So it's kind of stressful, kind of busy, and I only have like another few weeks to get it done. And I've done like the majority of it, so that's at least good. But I thought, what if you just did the easy stuff? Like if you just worked on your easy projects or your easy tasks in there. So let's say for if the writing the book analogy, you think, well, I can like, okay, I'm using me as an example because I'm so terrible at coming up with names, with character names or animal names or names of the street or names of the town. Just horrible at it. But one thing that is fun with that, even if my energy was down, I could do a little search and look online and say, give me some examples of names that are like this or this time period, or if they were in this town, like what would their names kind of be like? And you could do something fun like that. That's easy. It doesn't take a ton of energy, and it's still kind of fun, and it's still kind of making progress towards your goals. So one of the other things I wanted to mention on here about showing up, even when you don't really feel like it, when you don't really want to, maybe you sometimes need to get over it. I'm sorry, but a little bit of tough love here. Sometimes you need to say, this is my responsibility, and this is what I kind of have to do today because I'm an adult. Even my kids have to do it, right? They wake up, they don't always want to go to school. And sorry, that's what we do. We go to work and we go to school. And that's what we do. Even if you're a stay at home mom or dad, or you have like an at home business, that's still your responsibility. And you've made that promise to show up that day, whether it's for your business or for your work or for your kids. And that is one thing. Like I went to work and I was like, oh, I don't really want to be here today, but I'm here because this is my responsibility. This is my job. And I don't really have a choice when I'm at work if I can goof off or do something else. This is what I'm being paid to do. So little bit of tough love there, but it is something that we have to deal with. So one of the things today, like I was at my desk and I was like, okay, not like feeling high vibe today. I really want to be, but I'm not going to, like people say, fake it till you make it. Okay, that's fine. And I do that sometimes too. But I was also acknowledging the feeling and trying to figure it out for a couple minutes. But it was like, I don't really have to figure it out because time's going to go by and I'm going to get over it. And I know I had a video a couple weeks ago talking about like making sure, like having this feeling, making sure to take my vitamins and take my vitamin D. And I still have not been doing that very consistently. So to myself, I was like, that might be one of the reasons. I know my sleep is always like an issue for me. So that could be another reason. And I thought, oh, well, it's okay if I don't find the reason. I still kind of feel like that. But you, sometimes, like what I'm talking about, sometimes we wait to be motivated to do something instead of having the discipline to do it. And sometimes we can just keep waiting for that motivation and saying, well, I don't really want to get on the treadmill, or I don't really want to lift the weights today. And I'm not feeling motivated. So I'm just going to wait until I get that kick of energy. And then the next day goes by, maybe the next week does. But having the discipline to do it, like today, I got a bunch of stuff checked off my list today. It was a good day. And yet I didn't have the motivation. But having that discipline, I almost feel a little bit more like proud of myself that I did the things that I did because it's still rewarding, if not a little bit more rewarding, if that makes sense. So I went through my day. I listened to some good music. I like that. I know I've talked about it before, but that handpan music. And I felt really energized, a little bit more energized from that. I know like I'm super tired lately, so this is probably the main reason for it, but it wasn't like forcing it because I have my own office. Luckily, not very many of my coworkers come to see me. We all kind of just like go to our spots and get to work. And so I didn't really have to feel like I was forcing it or forcing myself to do something I didn't want to do and just be like, oh, I can be silly or make jokes or small talk or anything. And I did a little bit of that today. My boss came in and he likes to talk. So I just listened. And it was like, I'm not going to force it because I'm not feeling it. And that is okay. I want to say that it's okay if you're feeling this way. I was driving home when I got home, I had my girls, got to hug my girls, and that made it a little better, honestly. But I'm kind of curious if sometimes I know that like with my goals, I am an overachiever. Like, I can't expect to, maybe I was down because I was at work and because I wasn't working on my goals. And yet I know I'm not always going to work on my goals. Like that's unrealistic. And especially in most of our lives, I was going to say my life, but most of our lives, especially for parents and we have a job, we're not going to be, writing that book or whatever the goal is 16 hours a day. That like mentally, that's probably not the best thing anyway. But I think that I don't even remember what my train of thought was. Oh, the goals. I think that easing up on some of the expectations of ourselves is perfectly legitimate. Now, we're nearing the end of February. This is the other thing that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to check in and see how everybody is doing on your New Year's goals. Most people start goals on January 1st, and this is probably what we're going to talk about in the next live, but wanted to touch on it just a little bit today about seeing where everybody is and how you're feeling about it being February 24th or the end of the month or not in January anymore. Sometimes January is the motivator to get started. And sometimes as the year goes on, we're thinking, well, we didn't do what we wanted to in January. So why should I even start right now? And I always like to say, like, any day is a good day to start. And check in with you on my goals. My goals are going amazingly well, and I can't wait to share them with you. You know that my writing goals are out there and that my YouTube goals are out there, and I'll talk about that one in a minute. And then I have like a secret goal, so which I'll tell you about in a couple of months. I'm not ready to reveal that one yet, but my YouTube goal, this was one reason I think that I've been a little bit overwhelmed lately is putting that 75 hard, doing a video for 75 days on YouTube starting January something. I've looked at it a couple of times, don't remember the date still, but today is like day 35 or 40 or something like that. And I'm done. Like, I'm not going to make it to the 75. I'm purposely not letting myself get to the 75 days because it's kind of bringing me down. Like I'm forcing, like we were talking about forcing it. And I told myself at the beginning of this that if I had to start forcing the content and forcing a video every day, then I was going to stop. As long as my momentum was up and it was still like rolling with ideas and everything. I still have a lot of ideas, but it's kind of become this overwhelm and this stress. So I'm taking that off. I'm still on track for the 75, but I'm not going to continue with that. And I think that is totally fine to adjust your goals, especially adjust them to what's feasible, what makes sense, what you're liking, what is good for your mental health, like what you can physically do. And I am a huge advocate for customizing, customizing everything to yourself. So maybe I make it, hey, I'm committed to 75 days, and that is still going to be like a big focus, but not every single day. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to probably do like 2 videos, maybe a live a week and a video a week, and then like a short here and there, because the shorts are super easy for me. I know you can edit them. People probably spend hours on just the shorts. Let me know, if you're a YouTuber, how much time you spend if you do your shorts. And now I'm probably getting washed out because the sun is peeking out of the clouds. Like, we've had this windstorm today, and now it's kind of raining against the window. It's just a great like ambiance right now in here. But I think that's it. I think I just wanted to check in, see how everybody's doing. And I know this was kind of an impromptu live. I normally try and do like Tuesday afternoons, at least where I'm at, but we are busy every night this week except tonight. And I thought, I can do a live. I can check in with my genies and see how everybody's doing. I have a little bit of a channel update coming up, so stay tuned for that. And I just need to say, like, growing this community and having all of the comments that I've been having on here has been so rewarding. And you guys are amazing. I love when you send me messages and say, hey, this helped. This looks absolutely terrible right now. So let me see if I can move it over here a little. That's like a ton better. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to end it here, and I will be on shortly to cheer you on with your goals. Just let me know in the comments, like, maybe what you're thankful for and what you're struggling with, and how on those days that you're struggling, like, what do you do to get over them? Because I gave you some of my ideas, and now I want to hear some of yours. So I will see you in the next one, and stop wobbling around here. So thanks for being patient with all of the lighting and everything in this one. Bye.